Hey guys, it's PK here. My opponent Bad Dayz is running T-Tar as his lead. I'm running Cloister as mine. I quickly get out of the way as Rock Slide comes in and bounces off my pert. And now I'm going to go for Earthquake. The Swampert does not have Hydro Pump on it, so Earthquake is mandatory. It does 26% against the Coon, which is pretty high, suggesting it does not have a lot of defense investment, which means it's probably an offensive Coon. And making that educated guess, I stay in going for Toxic. As he Calm Minds up, I'm going to go for Protect just to make him take more toxic damage. Goes for Ice Beam, which I haven't seen before. And then I go to my Articuno next turn as he Calm Minds up to +2/+2. We'll see what he wants to do here. Goes for Hydro Pump, it's 49%, and I mean Hydro Pump confirms it's probably an offensive set. And I roar out the Raikou next turn. That's going to be forcing me to switch out. If I don't, my bird will die. So Celebi comes in, Thunderbolt bounces off. It could have HP Ice potentially, but most Raikou run HP Grass because of Swampert, and even if it does have HP Ice, I have my pert to deal with it, so not a huge deal. I go for Psychic in case he wants to sub up, but he brings T-Tar in against my Celebi. That's going to prompt me to switch right away. I go to my pert, goes for Rock Slide, it bounces off once again, like the first time. And I mean, yeah, I'm going to go for Earthquake again. He brings Coon in, it dies after toxic damage, so it's a 6-5 game. He leads off with Porygon 2 to recover, and I don't know why he would do that unless he's going to go for Toxic or something. And I mean, I have Toxic, so we could go blow for blow that way, but I think my Pert is too valuable to get poisoned, so I'll go to my Metagross in case he uses Toxic. But he shows me Thunder Wave, which is not commonly seen, and then oh man. He goes to Magneton, and I don't really know what to make of that. The only reason why I think he would do that is if he assumed my Metagross is Choice Banded and was going to use Meteor Mash, but none of those things happen to be true, and there's no reason for him to assume that, so I think that was a huge blunder on his part. But he answers with Aerodactyl, and I go to my Cloister. Earthquake is taken pretty well by the Cloister, so I mean I stay in, go for Ice Beam. He switches out, knowing that's not a winning battle, goes to his Raikou. And now I'm going to be forced to switch out. Now I want to take a Thunderbolt. Goes for Calm Mind instead. It's at +1/+1. Thunderbolt is 28% as I go for Calm Mind. We're both at +1/+1. I go for Recover. He goes for Calm Mind, so he's at +2. And I mean, I go for Leech Seed, and it connects, but he shows me Roar, which I mean, I don't think he should have revealed just yet. Later in the game, I mean, he could have like fooled me into going into a Calm Mind war with him, and then just roar me out and could have completely swept my team. So I think he revealed that a bit too early, and now that I know it's there, he's not gonna be able to use it anymore. So yeah, I mean, get T-Tar in against my Celebi, which is not a good thing. So I'm gonna go back to my Pert, and actually I'm gonna go for Recover. What happened? Now I'm gonna go back to my Pert. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what happened there. I think the replay froze, but yeah, the T-Tar came in I think as I recovered, and then I switched my Pert. So sorry for the confusion, guys. The replay is just being stupid. I go for Ice Beam as opposed to Earthquake in case the Aerodactyl wants to come in, but I think that was kind of stupid. Earthquake was probably the best thing to go for there. I go for Protect as the T-Tar comes in for free, so I just stay and go for Protect again to scout out the move. It's Earthquake. I get some free leftovers recovery. That works for me. I'm going to go my Gengar, which would have hovered above the Earthquake thanks to its Levitate ability. And I decided to stay in here, go for blow with the Aerodactyl. He goes for HP Fly, I go for Thunderbolt. I get the better end of the damage count, but he's faster, so he'll win if I stay in here. So I'm going to be forced to switch. He's locked into HP Fly, so I go to my Metagross. And yeah, decision, Meteor Mash or Earthquake. Earthquake looks like it hits more things on his team, and Aerodactyl's probably not going to stay in here in case I go for Meteor Mash. So I mean, I'm going to go for Earthquake, and unfortunately I get paralyzed as the Raikou comes in, so that Raikou should have been dead. And then as I stay in again, I get paralyzed once again, and so he gets a Thunderbolt for free against my Metagross. So you know, I can take a hint. I go to my Celebi right away, and Thunderbolt bounces off of it, and I'm going to decide whether I want to go for Psychic or Leech Seed. Psychic would hit the Raikou, and the T-Tar could come in against the Psychic, and I don't want that to happen, so I mean, I go for Leech Seed instead. It would have worked either way if the Raikou stayed in or the T-Tar came in. And the T-Tar did come in, so Leech Seed connected with it. It's going to be forced to switch out sooner or later. But man, he goes for Focus Punch, makes a nice prediction. And my Cloyster's dead, so no spikes on his side. But I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really given a lot of opportunities to spike up, and I don't think I would have in the future given the nature of my opponent's team. So yeah, I bring Gengar in knowing it's locked into Focus Punch, and I go for Will-O-Wisp. It connects with the Porygon 2, which is all fine and well. It will force it to recover more often, which will allow me to bring in more free switch-ins. I go to my Articuno to resist a possible Ice Beam, which turned out to be the wrong move to make, because the T-Tar just switched back in, and now I'm going to have to fire off my Articuno because my Pert's not going to want to take another Focus Punch to the face. And I thought I would go for Focus Punch again, but he goes for Rock Slide, so he's really out-predicting me, and as a result, it's now a 4-4 game as opposed to a 6-4 game as it was earlier. So yeah, I really got to get the better end of these predictions if I'm going to win this, otherwise my opponent's just going to win. That's all there is to it. So yeah, it's locked into Rock Slide. Knowing that, I go to my Purr, get some Leftovers recovery, it's all fine and well, it's all peachy, it's all dandy, whatever. I go for Earthquake. After Burn, the Porygon 2 is within range for my Earthquake to kill, but it has Recover, I'm sure. So I mean, I'm going to go back to my Metagross. He goes for HP Grass, I think. And it's a good thing I switched there, otherwise my Pert would be in the red, and I mean, then I'd be in real trouble, because then I'd have no way to handle the T-Tar successfully. So, I mean, I think that was a game-changing turn right there, my switch to the Metagross. And, I mean, you get some Ice Beam damage against my Metagross, but I think the switch was definitely worth it. So, Porygon 2 is gone. And, I mean, that was a weird set, by the way. You don't really see HP Grass or Thunder Wave on Porygon 2. So, yeah, I probably won't see that again. Raikou's there to answer. I gotta decide whether to stay in here, go for Earthquake, anticipation of switch to T-Tar, or switch. I opt for the safer option, which is switching, but he, you know, once again, he's out predicting me, and T-Tar comes in against my Celebi. We haven't seen HP Bug on the T-Tar yet, but I mean, Focus Punch, Rock Slide, Earthquake, I think it's a fair bet it's on there. And so I think my Celebi is pretty valuable, especially against the Raikou. So I'm going to go to my Gengar and hope he doesn't go for Rock Slide. Fortunately, he goes for Focus Punch instead, so that's huge. I get some tempo back on my side. Now he's going to have to switch into this Gengar. And he switches Raikou, and it takes a Will-O-Wisp to the face. So I mean, bringing my Gengar in for free is probably a good way to go for me to win this game and get an advantage over my opponent, because nothing on his team really wants to take anything from my Gengar. But I also get a nice break. I get my Pert in for free against his T-Tar, and he opts to go for Earthquake, does 40%. I go for Earthquake, does 68%. After Leftovers recovery, I am within range for the Earthquake to kill me, so I'm going to have to go for Protect. And now I'm pretty confident I can stay in here. Whoa, what happened there? I actually decided to go for my Gengar as opposed to staying here with my Pert. I guess I can understand that. The the T-Tar is locked into Earthquake, so Gengar has nothing to fear, but he switches right away to his Raikou, maybe trying to fodder it off, so that worked out for him. I think I should have stayed in there with my Pert, but it's whatever. And now he gets his T-Tar in against my Celebi once again. And at 7%, it could still do a whole lot against my team, and it's kind of embarrassing. So I gotta decide whether to stay in here, risk HP Bug, or to fire off my Metagross, because I don't want to fire off anything else. And I decide I'm gonna fire off my Metagross, but I survived the HP Bug. Presumably that's what it was. So I mean, yeah, my Metagross can't survive to see another day, so I might as well just go to my Gengar. It'll resist the HP Bug thanks to its Ghost and Poison typing, so I do that. He knows I'm going to switch though, so man, he's in my head. Raikou comes in, he takes burn damage, and I mean, this is going to be the last time Raikou sees the day, because he's going to die, and he does. So Metagross is still alive. T-Tar comes in. I'm just going to fight off my Metagross. I would be faster here if it wasn't for the para, but, you know, water under the bridge and all that. So yeah, now I bring my Gengar in. It's faster. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt, presumably. I do. And all that's left is the Aerodactyl. I'm just going to fodder off my Aerodactyl. He goes for HP Fly. And, I mean, yep, there's Pert. So barring a crit, I should win this. I go for Protect just for a little insurance. And, I mean, yep, HP Fly doesn't crit. And I take him out with Ice Beam. So the final score is 2-0. So yeah, I mean, obviously I think the game-changing turn was the point where I switched my Metagross as the Porygon 2 revealed for the first time HP Grass. If that had connected against my Pert, I don't think I would have won this game. Pert would be in the red. I'd be in a really hard place to answer that T-Tar, or the Aerodactyl for that matter. So, I mean, just one move and I think I would have lost. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the battle. Game analysis over, and see you next time.